I did everything I was told to do. I got good grades, went to a great college, got my degree, and then worked my way through my career and now have a high paying job in tech. But now in my late 30s, looking around at the life that blueprint provided, and while yes, it is a good life, I realize that I want so much more. I want a big, beautiful, I cannot believe that this is my life. I don't want to just be living for the weekend every single week. I don't want to be wishing and hoping and looking for that one vacation every year that gives me a break from the usual day-to-day life. I want every day of my life to feel amazing and expansive and just incredible. And we only get one opportunity at our life, so why not make it the best that it can be? And I know that so many others feel the same way, but you might feel a lot of guilt or shame around saying something like that. There might be pushback from other people that make you feel guilty or ungrateful or selfish for wanting more in your life when you have things good. So I've decided that I'm going to architect the second half of my life. Not just design something that looks good on paper or looks good on Instagram, but truly architecting it from the ground up with a solid foundation that is going to weather the storms and provide for me for the next, hopefully, 50 plus years and provide for my future family and beyond. And I'm going to be sharing everything I'm doing, so stick around. By all standard metrics, I have a good life, a really good life, some would say. I have my marriage, we have a good house in a good neighborhood, our fridge is always full, I have a great high paying career, I have an amazing family that I'm super close with and is so supportive of me. I have incredible friends who I admire and am inspired by every day. My health is good, and I am so beyond grateful for everything that I have in my life. But two things can be true at the same time. I can be so incredibly grateful and blessed for the things that I do have while still wanting more for this life. I see more and more women talking about this online where, especially in our mid to late 30s, you're hitting this point where, like I said, you've done all the right things. You've gone to school, gotten the good grades, got the good job, all of the checklist items. And society tells us you just have to be content with good, that it should be good enough to satisfy you. But when you really think about how short and precious our life is, why do you not want something that feels truly fulfilling and just amazes you all the time? I'm not saying every single day is going to be great. I'm not saying that life is not going to hit you with terrible circumstances, because Lord knows I have been there. But we can reach for more than what is the common standard. The past couple of years for me have been some of the hardest, darkest, most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching years of my life. And I've had to overcome so many things in my personal life. I've had to overcome multiple bouts of burnout from diving myself into work to avoid the emotions and circumstances I was dealing with. And through that, I've really had to have a lot of self-reflection and inner work to get myself through those times. And what I've come out on the other side realizing is that I have a lot more clarity and a stronger desire than ever to completely transform my life into one that I absolutely am in love with and am just in disbelief that I get to live every single day. So this is not a continuation of the life that I had before. This is not 1% improvements over everything that I've done previously. This is a complete tear it down, architecting from the ground up of my life. So why I went with the architecting route over designer route is when you're designing your life, you're thinking about, what do I want this to look like? What do I want this to feel like? When we think about a home, for example, you're designing maybe the finishes, the wall colors, the furniture, the flooring types, and all of these things. Well, yes, they are important and you want to think about them, and I certainly will be in my plan. You have to start with the architecture first. Architecting takes your vision and turns it into something functional. You're thinking about creating something structurally sound, something that is going to hold up over decades and decades, not something that is just going to be nice for a couple of years and then completely crumble the second a strong gust of wind comes. Architects think about how the layout of a home flows, how the light moves through the space, and how the home is going to stand up to the environment that it's in. And that's what we're doing here with this series and all of the areas of life that I'm going to be focusing on. I am looking at how is this going to hold up in the environment that I'm in, the environments that I want to be in, so that it's strong and it upholds. Because you can build the world's most beautiful kitchen, but if the foundation is cracked, it's all going to come tumbling down. So throughout this process, I'm going to be focusing on 5 key pillars that are going to be the foundation of this dream life that I'm building. Pillar number 1 is wellness, because you can have a million problems until you get sick, and then you have one problem: your health. I have experienced this firsthand multiple times in my life. The very first time was when I had degenerative disc disease, and it was actually a horrible decade of my life where I was in constant pain. I was on a ton of medication that led to an addiction and fueled my eating disorders. And most recently in my life, I also went through mold poisoning. So even though I had been very, very healthy prior to that, that completely took me out. And I've talked about that before. If you guys are interested in hearing more of that story, let me know and I can share more details of how I went through that experience. But going through health struggles is something that will completely affect the entirety of your life. So that is why my wellness and my health is number 1, making sure that I am as healthy and as strong and capable as I can be. I also really want to be a mom, so I am making sure that my nutrition and my training and all of the other things that I'm doing to maintain my health are also supporting my trying to conceive journey. One of the biggest areas where I am focused on improvement is my nervous system health, my stress management. Obviously, I am somebody who throughout my entire life has always dealt with anxiety and worry and stress. And I have a lot of things on my plate. And I obviously have a lot of ambitions and goals that I want to achieve in my life, which is why I'm doing this series. So I want to have a body and a nervous system and, a mindset that can hold those things and that has the capacity to help me get there without completely destroying my mind and my health and everything else in my life. I'm also rolling into wellness is my self-care. I want to learn more about skincare, especially I'm, coming up on 40 in the next couple of years. I want to make sure that I am taking care of my skin the best that I can. I also would like to learn a little bit more about makeup. I don't know that much. I'm not great at putting it on, but I would love to enhance my skills in that area. So those are things that I am including in my wellness pillar that I want to work on. Pillar number 2 is money. And finances are so integral to this life that I want to have, not only because it takes money to have nice things in life. Like I do want to have a nice home. I want to be able to travel and take my family on vacations. I want to travel first class, have really good experiences. I want things to be not stressful at all for traveling. I also want to have things like somebody to come clean my home so that I don't have to worry about it. I would love to have somebody that would come and prepare my meals so that I don't have to spend my time doing those things. I can spend my time on the things that I love and enjoy and that are, pouring into my life's purpose rather than just maintaining my household chores. I would also love to be able to have the resources to give to the charities that I love. I would love to be able to go to the shelter, for example, and pay for all of the dogs adoption fees. Or my ultimate dream is to one day open a shelter for elderly dogs and just have a big farm where they're all they all have their own little homes and they're super comfortable and they can just live out their golden years in a safe and comfortable place where they can just, have fun and be lively. That's one of my ultimate goal dreams. Speaking of dogs, I want to be able to do things like help my mom retire. There are just so many things that having financial resources can help make easier or better or possible in your life. So that is why that is one of my main pillars. I am going to be primarily in the beginning focused on just understanding my money to start with. It's been a long time since I've really been consistent at tracking my spending, at tracking my income. So that's something that I really want to focus on to get started. I'm going to be using the Personal Finance Dashboard by Michaela at Break Your Budget. Not sponsored at all. I just really love her content. And when I downloaded this dashboard, I just felt like it was super comprehensive and perfect for what I want to do. So I'll link her page down below. But that is step 1, is to get control of my current finances, understand where every dollar is coming and going to. And then step 2 to this process will be growing my income. So learning about investing and learning about different ways that I can expand my income outside of my 9 to 5 and my current businesses. Pillar number 3 is relationships. Obviously, I'm not architecting this grand, amazing life in isolation by myself for myself. It's also for all of the people that are in my life and that I love, and with people that are directly in my life. So I'm building this with my husband. I'm building this for our future family, for the family that I came from, my parents, my siblings, my in-laws. We want to be able to build this big, beautiful life and bring everyone into it with us. So this pillar looks like continuing to nurture and grow and enhance my relationships that I have currently, and then also expanding my network and making new friends and meeting new people, because every time I do something where I go out of my comfort zone and I meet some new people, I meet the most incredible, cool people doing amazing things with their life, and it really grows me and stretches me, and it's so exciting to see other people doing big things. It makes you realize that you are really playing small and you can do so much more with your life. So I want to continue to do that. Pillar number 4 is mindset. And mindset is so key, so vital, and so foundational to, I think, literally everything in your life, because the vast majority of our behaviors and our actions and our decision making come from who we believe we are. And that can be impacted by our limiting beliefs, our self-talk, our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-concept, our identity. All of these things are intertwined with how we actually execute and move through life and what we believe is possible for us. So if you're not doing the mindset work to embody and to become the version of yourself that has the capacity to do all of the things that you want to do in life and have the life that you envision for yourself, it's going to be really, really, really hard to, I would say near impossible, to actually achieve those things. Because when we don't act in accordance to who we believe we are, we will self-sabotage. We will ensure that we are staying congruent with our self-beliefs and our self-identity, even if that is to the detriment of ourselves. That is why this is such a key pillar that is going to be one of the biggest pieces, and it kind of stretches across all of the other pillars as well. And pillar number 5 is legacy. This is my long-term view. This is the 50 years from now. This is what I'm passing down to my children and my children's children, and like how everything that I'm creating, the values that we hold as a family, the traditions that we have, how are we ensuring that that has a long-lasting impact well beyond just what we're doing with our immediate lives. So the process that I'm going to be taking for building out these pillars and architecting this dream life of mine is going to be very focused on systems. If you've been around, if you've seen my content before, you know that I am very systems oriented. It's what I do in my day job. It's what I do in my businesses. I am all about the systems, habits, routines, workflows, all of it. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing to achieve my dream life, and what I'm going to be sharing with you so that you can implement this if you have a desire to completely change your life. So I'm not going to be just showing up with a vision board and some good vibes, although I do love that and we will be incorporating that. I'm talking about the real, tangible, operational things that actually create the execution and create the outcomes. So whenever I do a deep dive on one of these pillars or what I'm working on, I will be sure to be sharing the systems, the routines, the spreadsheets, the habit trackers, whatever it is that's helping me, I will be sharing with you. So along with these YouTube videos and deep dives, I will also be creating my monthly Substack article on what I'm focusing on that month. And then I'll also be doing my behind the scenes weekly updates on Instagram. So make sure that you're following me there if you're interested in seeing those shorter, more actionable items. And just remember, this is my real-time, messy process. I will be sharing everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's working and what's not. So I hope that you're excited for this series. I know that I am. If there's someone else that you think would benefit from this series or get excited about architecting their own life, make sure that you share it with them. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future Architecting Your Life series. And let me know in the comments which of these pillars you think that you would be most excited to work on for your own life. All right, I will see you in the next one. Bye.